Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Six Morning Show. I'm Tony T here with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, giving out live free picks for today's card. And on today's show, we'll have picks from you. Well, college football with 2 games and NBA gives us our first big card with 12 games on the board. Well, we get hockey guys, and we'll have a few from hockey here. But make sure you guys hit that like, that subscribe right off the bat. Greatly appreciate that. A lot of great content here on the Tony Six YouTube channel. So let's meet the cappers and get right to the picks as we don't mess around here on the Tony Six Morning Show. Let's say hello, Chris. Chris, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Glad NBA's back. I did drop the Lakers last night. Had the 2.5 there. Thought they were going to be able to at least keep it a little bit closer, if not win against Golden State. But like we were talking about prior to coming on here, I mean, I don't know who they're unless Luke is just going to score 100 points every game. This team looks rough. LeBron does add a sense of the passing it around. He contributes definitely. Can't deny that. And Luke is doing the best he can, but these other guys, man, these young guys look rough. So we'll have to see what happens with the Lakers season this year. But still a Luka fan. He did his best he could, but Golden State's an older team, and they couldn't keep up with them. So what are they going to do against OKC and younger teams? So we'll have to see, but ready to get to it. Glad we got a bunch on the board and ready to go.
Ready to go. It's well. Solo, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy to be here. My Bulldogs dropped one overtime. That was a rough one, but decent little NBA. Nice little pick with the Rockets. Let's fire. Let's get to it.
Yeah, Rockets there. Said before, should have won that game, but KC struggled there with the three. So we got a lot of points as we hit the overtimes there. So let's get to the games, guys. We're going to start with college football. Then work our way in.
That was rough.
Yeah, that was rough there. You did. Middle Tennessee State and Delaware Conference USA showcased here on Wednesday. We got Delaware. Look at this, 9.5 point. From FCS to FBS and a 9.5 point favorite. There you go. There, and this one total 55.5. And we've got Missouri State and New Mexico State. We see 1.5 point favorites from Missouri State here. Although, what else we got? South Point has it a pick 'em. Circa has them a pick 'em there. And so some different lines as you see here. Do your line shopping there. Total 15.5. We start here with Chris.
Yeah, probably not touching that Middle Tennessee game there. That's just a ridiculous one there. Missouri State, New Mexico State with a coin flip there. I go with the dog on the. You take the 1.5, or you can just take New Mexico State outright on there. I just think they're just better off with conference and especially at home and everything. So we'll just take New Mexico State on the money line.
There you go. Here from Chris, we move on over to Solo.
Definitely not my favorite card, but Middle Tennessee and Delaware. I like the Blue Hens. Definitely been solid since I step up in FBS competition from Division II to Division I. I like the quarterback play, solid run game. I think they probably run all over Middle Tennessee. I probably laid it -9.5.
There we go. We're Solo here. Tell you what I think here about these games here for today. Looking at this one here with Middle Tennessee. Boy, Tadio has been there forever, right? I mean, he got I think I cashed with him last week there, but yeah, I'm not going to lay it with Delaware. I just don't want to lay that many points. Middle Tennessee State offensively in conference, they can't throw the football. 276 yards, 69% completion rate. They do limit conference opponents on the ground and limit opposing quarterbacks at 57% completions. Now, I'm just looking at conference stats here now. We're at that time of the year where we can just look at the conference stats. Delaware not running the ball effectively here in conference play and give up 68% completion rate. I'll take the points here with Tennessee State. I also like New Mexico State here with Logan 5. Aggies 6-1 to the spread as a home dog. Aggies have won 3 straight at home. Missouri State against the conference dealing with quarterback accuracy issues and defensively have not been good. Give up over 5 yards a carry, 292 yards passed for 69% completion rate. So I'm going to look here at New Mexico State, who also plays pretty good defense at home. This is against the conference here. So I'll look at New Mexico State here at plus the 1.5. All right, let's continue here on the Tony X Morning Show. We'll turn to the NBA. We have a 12-game card. We'll do 3 blocks of 4 here. But first, let's take a look here at start with the games, and we'll look at the injuries. We'll start off here, Cavs and Knicks. We see here that Cavs 2 now on the road. This was 1.5, 1 overnight. Cavs getting some money, 2, total 228. Nets and Hornets. The Hornets 4.5, total 227.5. Heat and Magic. Orlando 8 in this one, total 214.5. Raptors and Hawks. We got the Hawks 5.5, total 236. Looking at the injuries in these games, we got Garland and Strus out for Cleveland. Hunter is questionable. Hart and Robinson out for the Knicks. Towns questionable. Anunoby probable. Miami and Orlando here. Hero and Jaku Jonas are out where questionable. Suggs questionable. Morris Wagner out for Orlando in that game. And then looking here at the Brooklyn game, Brooklyn and Charlotte, we got just Highsmith out for Brooklyn. Green and Williams are out for Charlotte. And then Toronto, Atlanta, we got Murray, Boyles, and Walter out for Toronto. Atlanta, a clean injury report. That's the only – well, there's a couple that have clean injury, but a clean injury report. But, man, I'm reading this like it's the middle of the NBA season with all these injuries already. My goodness. So, Chris.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. Cleveland, New York, especially with that cat news, be watching that. But I'll take Cleveland on the road there. It's down to 1.5. Take them. I got to definitely see what happens with Towns there. Miami, Orlando, definitely a good pickup for Orlando there with Desmond Bain. He was one of my favorite Grizzlies there, so they picked up a good one there. But I think I'm going to go under. We did a lot of that last year with the Magic at home and everything. They seem to be a pretty good defensive team last year on that. So I'll go under the 214.5. We'll see who scores in that one. And then same direction, I want to go with Brooklyn and Charlotte there. Got to see what happens there. Go under 227.5 in that one. I think we see a lower scoring one. And then, I don't know, I'm probably going to watch that Raptors-Hawks to see how they do, see who's going to do what. I like to take Toronto in Toronto, typically when they're a dog, but we'll see how it goes that one. So might lean the Raptors, but not putting anything on that right yet until I see what these guys do, because it's wild to see Atlanta have a clean injury report. So we'll see how that game goes.
And with Chris, we move on over to Solo.
Cavs and the Knicks, like you say, ton of injuries. Like I say, Chris is waiting on Cat. I'm a little more locked in with Hart out. I think he's a heartbeat of this team. Don't really think they play as strong, as physical with him. I think he, kind of makes things happen. Doesn't really need the ball. Kind of gets his off the mud. Everybody else kind of is allowed to kind of score. Cavs without Garland really hurts you, but I think Ty Jerome steps up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We hear you pretty good. Yeah, we're in you.
Yeah, Ty Jerome steps up. I think he plays well. I'll take the Cavs on the money line. The Nets and Charlotte, I kind of like the Nets with the points. I know Charlotte is healthy. Just too many points to lay with me. I know they're still a younger team. LaMelo Ball probably gets his with, points, rebounds, assists if you're in all the PRA props and all that type stuff. But I think points could be premium. I'll just take the Nets with the 4.5. I think they still have some shooters. I think they'll fire down the end, score some points down the stretch and sneak in the back door. And the 76ers in Boston, this in the slot.
Which one? That one, the Boston? That's the next one.
Okay, gotcha.
There from Solo. Tell you what I think about these games here. I'm going to take Miami here at this plus price. Norman Powell was an addition, and he's not afraid to shoot. I'm pretty sure they're going to give him the green light here because that's the issue with Miami. They just can't shoot no threes. I know Hero's out of this one, but you got Powell hitting over 41% from three. Of course, Wiggins came over in the Jimmy Butler trade. Magic, well, they need to get with the times. They were the worst three-point shooting team in the league last year, and they played a very slow pace. That may help the Heat in this spot. They were 27th in offensive rating there. I know Desmond Bain was acquired from Memphis. Maybe his contributions will add down the line with Banchero, Suggs, and Franz Wagner. But still, I'm going to look at taking the points here with Miami in that one. Looking at this Nets and Charlotte Hornets team, it's just not ready to lay points here with Charlotte. We know Cam Thomas. They've kept him. He's a scoring machine there. Believe it or not, when you look at the Nets, they finished with a winning spread record last year. For a team that bad, they were able to cover spreads because they shot threes, right? Sometimes they fell. Sometimes
Porter Jr. is going to get some shots up too.
That's true. Don't forget Porter Jr. He was bad-mouthed a lot in Denver, right? He took a lot of heat over. He was the guy they point the finger at, right? They blamed him.
The ball.
Yeah, that he took the blame over there. But the Hornets struggled with defense. We know with Ball's health is the key for Charlotte, but I'm not ready to lay that many points with them. I'll take Brooklyn because they're a 3-point shot away from covering games. That's what I'm worried about. Yeah, I can only look at the Cavs with Cat hurt here. I'm still wanting to see how Mike Brown works with the Knicks. Tibbs is out. Will that mean the teams will be more lax on defense? That's what you got to worry about when there's a coaching change like that, especially when you go to the conference finals and you fire a coach doing that. Wow.
I'm curious to see Brunson's role, the father role on the bench, because remember he was kind of running a lot of things with Tibbs. Tibbs was kind of just sitting there and he was running things. I'm curious to see. I don't think Mike Brown's going to let him,
Yeah, Mike Brown's going to be more hands-on. You saw the issue he had with Fox, right? That's what got him run out of Sacramento is he couldn't get along with De'Aaron Fox. Right. And he had his issue with the Lakers too. So, it's Brown is we'll see. Everyone was when they got rid of Tibbs, there was no plan. So they should have hired I wouldn't mind seeing the lady coach from South Carolina. They should have hired her. I would have hired her. I think she's a damn good coach, to be honest with you. Forget about the Las Vegas Aces coach. She's, to me, is the best coach in women's college sports. But anyway, I'll look at Cleveland in that spot. And what else? Oh, Toronto and Raptors. No one's playing defense here, and this is an early season. We're not playing defense game. Give me the over. It's Atlanta. They'll play defense 2 or 3 times a year. This is not one of them. And also, too, a healthy Atlanta means a lot of pace and scoring. Boy, I like look at the roster additions here, right? Barnes, Quickly, Barrett, Ingram. This is the team. Look out if they can stay healthy. That's always a big if, right? Atlanta could may be the most improved. Could improve their winning percentage a lot from last season. There. Oh, yeah. So I like that over there. We're not going to see much defense, especially here with Toronto. Again, all team pretty much healthy here. But I'll look at the over in that spot there. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. We'll move on to the second block of games featuring Sixers and Celtics. Boston 3.5 now, total 229. Pistons and Bulls, Detroit 3, total 233.5. Pelicans and Grizzlies. It's the Grizzlies now up to 4.5, total 236.5. Wizards and Bucks, the Bucks 10, total 228. We'll take a look at some of the injuries in these games here. Philly and Boston, George, McCain, and Watford out there for Philly. So 2 key components, George and McCain out for Philly. Of course, we know Tatum's out for the year. Brown with a question mark there for Boston. Detroit and Chicago. Jaden Ivey out. Of course, we know Ivey with that bad injury last year. Sasser doubtful, Levert probable. Collins and White out for Chicago. White, the big one there for Chicago. Wizards in Milwaukee. Koulibaly out here. Riley, questionable. And, of course, Milwaukee, a clean injury report coming into this game. And we got Pelicans and Memphis here. And this one, we've got Looney, Murray out for the Pelicans. Metkovic is doubtful. On the Memphis side, Clark, Edey, Jerome, Pippen, Williams out. John Morant in the lineup off the injury report with that turned ankle. So we'll get it started here with Chris.
Yeah, we'll definitely make sure he goes on that one. Our injury report is completely ugly, and it gets worse every day. But if he's in, give me the over. It's in Memphis. If Ja goes in there and he's good, he may be, I don't know. We're going to have to watch him and see how he does on that ankle. We definitely don't need him hurt. He seems to be pretty fragile there. But yeah, take the over in the Grizzlies, Pelicans. I don't think anybody's playing defense there. I think we get up and down on that one. And I'm going same direction with the Pistons and Bulls. I'm going over 233.5 there. I think we see a lot up and down in that matchup as well. Probably stay away from that Milwaukee Washington game there. I don't know who Giannis has got to help him anymore there, and I definitely don't want to do anything with the Wizards at this point right now. But we'll leave that alone. So yeah, we'll take the over in both those games. And Philly, Boston, I want to take the 76ers. I mean, I think this is the year that Boston just crashes. I mean, what they got going on? I mean, we got to see Jaylen, Brown can't do it all himself. So I don't know. I'd rather just have the points for the 76ers on the road.
Yeah, Boston lost a lot, right? Cornette, they lost Porzingis, they lost the old man there. The name escapes me. Their center there, 39 years old, moving on. But yep, move on over. Horford, yep. Move on over to Solo.
Yeah, 76ers in Boston. Like I said, Boston lost a lot of players, but 76ers actually didn't really gain any. So they were still the worst team ATS in the season last season. So I don't really expect too much for them. Paul George is still banged up. I think Maxey probably scored some points. This Boston team is still solid at home. I think they have some players. I actually got a little lower number. This number's going up. So I took the, money line at like 129 on Boston, maybe early in the week. That's obviously gone. I probably wouldn't lay these points. I'd probably look at the total and take the total under. Where we at? Washington and the Bucks. Washington has a real tricky lineup. I don't think they can win this game, but the Bucks don't have a lot outside of Giannis. I think Miles Turner's in, but I think Middleton's probably going to call some of these plays out, help these young guys get some of these stops. Call some of these sets down, kind of limit Giannis a little bit. I'm going to take this total under 227.5.
Yeah, from Solo. Tell me what I think about some of these games here. Pistons, Bulls. I think that White injury here is key there for sure. I'll be on the Detroit side here, looking at this Pistons team. Good defensive team, 11th in efficiency. Karis LeVert, Duncan Robinson, new additions. Robinson could hit the three. Chicago here, really improvement needed in offensive and defensive side for this team, bottom half of the league there. We know the roster is a lot different now without DeRozan and Levine in the lineup. But for me, the Chicago defense is a concern here. Cunningham and Robinson backcourt kind of think will give them a problem. Also, you got a Duran versus Vucevic matchup down low. I can only look at the Pistons there in that spot there. Pelicans and the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm going to look at Memphis here at home. The Pelicans defense to me is a concern. Now, everyone's saying that the big guy there is in good shape, Zion. Let's see it. Let's see if it transforms to good play on the court. Right, that's the question. So we'll see how it goes there with the Pels. Of course, when you have the firing, we got a European guy there, a guy from Paris, now coaching the Memphis Grizzlies. I hope he doesn't have too thick of an accent because those guys are hard to understand.
Joe Dumars running the show.
Dumars there running the show there. Of course, Grizzlies were a good offensive team, good defensive, fifth in offensive efficiency. We'll see how John Morant wants, how he plays the system now. Of course, there's a lot of concern where they want him on the ball, they want him off the ball. We'll figure out how they're going to figure that out there in Memphis. But to me, I see Jordan Poole as the Pelicans. What are you doing, man? What are you bringing Jordan Poole? What the? You got him with Morant. Oh my! Or I'm sorry, with Zion. I see Jordan Poole, and I just see chaos, man, on offense. I just don't see it, man. It's just inefficiency there. We had to sit through years with how bad those Washington Wizards teams are. And what did you see on tape to sign Poole and put him in your starting? I just don't get it, man. I don't get it.
17 a night. It's ugly.
Yeah, 17 a night, but an ugly 17. Turn the ball over, take bad shots, high volume.
Expiring contract.
Expiring contract. That is another one true there. So I can only look at Memphis in that spot there. Washington, Milwaukee. Look at this. I'm like, give me the over. This is going to be one of the youngest teams in the league. Although they did insert some age there with McCollum and Middleton in their starting lineup, but other than that, it's just a bunch of young dudes that can run. So it's another. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of defense here from either of these teams. Miles Turner was the guy they picked up to match up with Giannis here, and Porter in there as well. Again, I don't think we're going to see much defense. I like the over in that one between Washington and Milwaukee. And I think I'm going to be. I think Maxey and B can have a pretty big day today. In the 1-2 punch there. I really see that. I like Philadelphia a bit here. Boston got a lot smaller after losing some of their guys. Horford out, Cornette out, Porzingis out. He's left. They get Anthony Simons from Portland.
That part.
That's a little hitter. I mean, there is some talent there, but you're going to really have to develop it, right? Just with the shot selection and the turnovers, and we'll see how he looks. But I just don't like that Keta is the starting center for Boston going up against Embiid and company there. I think, and Maxey, right? I think that's a good 1-2 for the Sixers here. I'll take him there. I'm still trying to figure out what Boston's trying to do here. Of course, Keta, the rim protection and the size are a very small team right now. I can only look at
run.
Yeah, they're going to be running. We'll see how much. Of course, Brown is a question mark too. He may not play tonight.
And they led the league in 3-point attempts last season, so they're going to break it again.
Yeah, they're going to bring it. But no Tatum there anymore, and may not have Brown in lineup tonight, nor Porzingis either. He's gone. So can these guys? Can Simons hit the threes for them?
Simons, Pritchard, they're going to be firing.
Pritchard got a big contract, $100 million, right? He got $100 million for 3. He got the rookie extension. Was it 150 or 100 for 5 years? I don't know. He got the rookie extension. He earned it. I'll give him credit for that. He came out of Oregon, and he got into the lineup. He was a good second teamer. He was always first or second guy off the bench, so he earned it over there. Can't argue that. All right, we got Jazz and Clippers. Look at the Clippers now up to 10.5. I thought 10 was a high overnight. No, they pump it up to 10.5 now. Total 226. Spurs and Mavericks, a high-profile game here. Mavericks 2.5, total 226. Kings and Suns, Phoenix 4, total 229. And T-Wolves and Portland. I think they opened the season last year. I think Portland beat them a couple times last year, if I remember correctly, right? Minnesota will be ready, I think, here. 4 on the road, total 220. Look at the injuries here in these last 4 from today. Clippers in Utah. All we have is just Jordan Miller out for the Clippers. Looks like their guys are in for LA. On the Utah side, no Collier, no Yang. And we've got Bailey here, questionable for Utah. Spurs and Dallas. No, Fox is out. Olenek out. Sokan out. Waters out for Sacramento. I'm sorry, for San Antonio. On the Dallas side, no Exum. We know Irving's going to be out for a long time with that major injury. Gafford doubtful there for Dallas. So that's a big one there. Sacramento and Phoenix. We know Keegan Murray's out for a while. Sabonis and Jones hit the injury report as well. They're out as well. No Jones, no Murray, no Sabonis for Sacramento. Jalen Green, the Houston guy, he's out for Phoenix. Grayson Allen probable tonight. On Minnesota, this one you got to keep an eye on. It's a late game. Anthony Edwards with the back spasms, questionable. So Anthony Edwards, questionable for Minnesota. On the Portland side, Scoot Henderson's out. We know Lillard's going to be out, and Robert Williams is out. Boy, that old Celtic guy, he has really moved around the league there. So there you go with the injuries. We got to start here with Chris.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards, what are you doing? Young kid, got back spasms. Calm down. I don't know, man. Like that's one of my favorite guys. So for him to be in or out is thing there. But I think the play is Portland. You can take the points. I'm probably going to take the money line, as Solo says there. Portland at home, man. These guys are scrappy, and we just had to see how the Minnesota injury news goes there. But I don't know. That's just wild to me. He's got that going on. But Spurs also saw something on that. I don't know if he's in or out. Stephon Castle, if he's in or out or whatever like that. I saw him potentially on the injury report, but he may be going. I think we get up and down on that one with the Mavericks. You got Cooper Flag going up against Wembanyama. If Castle's in there, we're going to see some stuff from him. So I like over 226.5 in that one. Probably leaving that Clippers Utah one alone. I don't want any part of that. Give me the Suns at home. I don't like this Kings team. Russell Westbrook's on there. I mean, it's whatever. But I mean, they're missing Sabonis is pretty key there. Keegan Murray, one of my other favorite players, he's out. Just not a fan of this Kings team. I'd rather have the Suns at home with the points.
There we go here from Chris. Move on over to Solo.
Yeah, that King Suns game, that's a tricky game. I want to pull the trigger, but I'm going to stay away from that one. The Spurs and the Mavs, Wemby's probably my favorite player in the league. He's back healthy. I think he's going to bring it. I know the Spurs have a lot of injuries, but I think they're going to get up and down, like Chris says. I don't think neither team's going to play too much defense. You'll see some blocks and some rebounds from Wemby, but a lot of that come from the pace. I think this game goes well over this total, and I'll probably take Wemby over 25. Whatever these props are, go take Wemby over. I don't think anybody can stop him. I think he can force feed him tonight. I think Castle picks up those minutes from Fox and Chris Paul. I think he probably scores a ton of points here coming off that rookie year season, play with confidence. I'm not really sure who on Dallas could really guard him. Again, take this total over.
There we go here from Solo. I think the blowout of the night could be this Clippers team against Utah. I would lean there with LA. Nowhere near a premium with laying points like that on the road, but there's just not a lot of like here from this Utah team. They're already calling for the Jazz to trade Market, and he's probably the only star they have on the team. Around him is Keontae George. There's just not a lot there from this Utah team. Of course, two additions here for the Clippers are Bradley Beal off the bench. Of course, the former Jazz John Collins now will be an LA Clipper, and Utah 17-65 a year ago, and they sat in the bottom in defense. I mean, the Clippers against bad defensive teams, this turns usually into blowouts, especially with their talent on the court. It's just, to me, this is the blowout. It looks to me like the blowout of the night here with the Clippers. Yeah, Ty Lue is a solid coach. There's a lot of turmoil over there, but he just seems to steady the ship and get these guys to play. Well, it does help that people always talked about James Harden, but he likes living in LA, and on his vacations where he likes to go. It's a 45-minute helicopter ride to Vegas. That's where he wants to be. So that's he's happy on his days off where he can go to Vegas and have fun. That's what he likes to do on his days off. So he's close there. Able to see what Cooper Flag will do here for the Dallas Mavericks. So Dallas won the lottery, right? They won. They lost the season but won the lottery. Right? That's really what happened with them. Irving, I think, is a concern, obviously concern here, but injuries on both sides of this one. We got D'Angelo Russell and Klay Thompson, your guard combination here for Dallas with Lively and Davis up around the hole. I think the Spurs injuries are impactful here. I look at Dallas at home in that spot. Kings and Suns, I agree. I don't like this Kings roster whatsoever. You got Devin Booker there, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green. Green isn't there tonight, but you got that big man, Mark Williams, the wannabe Laker, right? Failed
the physical. Yeah, that's right.
Failed the physical, but I guess they had lower standards in Phoenix, so they passed him in Phoenix. So the issue I have is Drew Eubanks at center for the Kings. I just think there's no rim protection in Sacramento. I like I like Phoenix in that spot. And Timberwolves, you got burned in Portland last year. It's not going to happen again. It's just not going to happen because they beat you there last year when you started the season. Although there is still some talent. We know there's Anthony Simons, but they added Drew Holiday, a veteran there. There is Klingland is now he's now the center, right? He's the guy.
UConn. I got you. My bad.
UConn. Yeah, he'll be the guy now at center here. But Portland's got to be better offensively. They need to shoot from three better and take better care of the basketball there. So I kind of like
Chauncey Billups. I kind of like the program he's building out there. They fought, they scrapped, they covered a lot down the stretch. Scoot is out, like you say. I'm curious where the scoring is going to come from. But
yeah, that's the question mark there is the scoring. With Minnesota, you got Julius Randle, Gobert, Desport Edwards. You also have McDaniels in there, Conley and company. They have a lot of talent. You do have Reed and DiVincenzo coming off the bench. See, that's another key for me there with Minnesota is they got some.
I think Dillingham's going to play a little bit more this year too.
Yeah, that's another one there too. So yeah, I like Minnesota here to learn their lesson from last year. Don't get behind the 8 ball here like you did last year, losing. I think they lost. Yeah, they started with 2 in a row against Portland. I think they lost both of them. They're in Portland, if I'm not mistaken, to start the season last year. So I'll look at Minnesota there in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony S'more Show. Well, none of us have skates, so if you want the hockey, just go to the website. We got guys covering hockey for you there. Happy hour at 5 p.m. Eastern with Rod. We'll have the hockey coverage for you now. Well, now it's time for our Parlay Purple segment where our Cowboys give it a parlay, team player prop, game of the future. They make the call here. We start here with Chris.
Oh, yeah, we'll go some overs. We'll go with Spurs, Mavs over. We'll take Pelicans, Memphis over on that. And then not really having skates here. These are all based off of data, so tread lightly with these goal scorers for hockey. But I'm trying to dip into these with all the database and everything I've got. But I've got you a couple. We'll go Dylan Larkin, Red Wings center, and we'll go Cole Caulfield. Hope I pronounced that right. Montreal, to get a goal as well. So, yeah, tread lightly with those. We're trying those out.
There we go with Chris. Move on over to Solo.
2-team parlay. I'm going to start slow early in the season. Let's lay it with the Clippers, and let's take the Cavs on the money line.
There we go with Solo. I'll give you mine here. I like for today. I'm going to go ahead and take the Cavs with the over in Raptors Hawks and give me the Mavericks in that one. All right, we got you through our Parlay Purple segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Heading to an exciting week of action with a lot of basketball, NBA returning. We also have NFL, college football on the boards, hockey up there as well. World Series, almost forget about you, right? The long layoff, not until Friday, but it's not too far away there. NFL returning again tomorrow, guys. Head over to our site at Tony'sPicks.com. That's where you're going to find our best bets on our premium plays available for sale up there right now with leaderboard showcasing all of our performance here you see on the show up on the site. We'll start off with Chris, see what he has for sale over at Tony's Picks for this Wednesday here with this huge card here from the NBA. We'll see what Chris has for sale over at Tony's Picks. Chris, what you got?
I got you several things today, kind of loaded up a few things to start the season big here. I'm super excited. NBA's back. I got you a best bet, and then I've got you a 3-pack. Those are all, the 3-pack is 3 spreads, and I got you a 5-pack, and that includes everything and 2 totals. So I kind of went big. I never usually do, but I'd like to start it off big here in the NBA. Like I said, super excited about it. Hop on some of the long-term, short-term. We still got the World Series coming up Friday. Not sure how long that's going to go, but we'll hope for Game 7. But anyway, I'll be covering that. College football, NFL, you guys know I cover all that stuff there. 2-for-1 capper, 2 people putting money in your pocket makes a lot of sense to do that. You see who's on the leaderboard. You see who's hot. Pair those guys up and let them go to work for you there. And, use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save you the 15%. And let's just try to have a good NBA season. That's
right, Cowboy Chris over at Tony's Picks. You see all the plays up there from Chris. 1 day passes are profit guarantee. They must earn a profit amount purchase. We'll be credited back to your account for site credits. That's profit guarantee. You can also get on board with the long-term subscriptions, the way to roll here. You guys like that 7-day all sports pass here. A lot of action here coming up here for the week from NFL, college football, NBA, and more. So get on board with Chris over at Tony's Picks. And remember, the promo code TonyT will save you that 15% off. All right, let's see what's rolling over at Tony's Picks right now. We'll see what Solo has for sale today for Wednesday. Solo, what you got?
Yeah, we kind of light right now. I think I got 3 plays in the NBA. I was waiting on some last little information. Probably going to get up to a total 5 total plays, all in the NBA. We'll be back on NFL tomorrow, college football later on toward the week. Obviously, NFL on Sunday. So sign up with me short-term, long-term. Pair me with your favorite capper, pair me with the hottest capper. 1 shot at a time. Let's knock them down.
Knock him down here with Solo over at Tony's Picks. You can see Solo up there. Long subscriptions is the way to go. We got all these overlaps here with all these major sports. No better time now to get on board with Solo. Long-term subscriptions here, covering most major sports here: NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, college football. That's a lot of major sports there on those long-term subscriptions. So get on board with Solo and use that promo code TonyT. We'll knock off that 15% off. You can also match up Solo with your favorite capper here with the 2-for-1 capper promotion. I have a best bet on the board for you for college football, so get on board with me and match me up as well with your favorite capper here on the 2-for-1 capper promotion. Guys, with you here on the Tony's Morning Show every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you guys hit that like, that subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. And if you happen to miss any of our shows or want to check out some of our content, a lot of great content over on our YouTube channel, Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Guys, check it out. Got a lot of great content up there for you, updated daily with multiple picks from many of the sports up there. You check out our homepage. You can see up there the college football I got up there. We're getting our NBA up there as we speak right now. Compilation videos, 2-3 zone returns with the guys. So we got Ron, Rob, and Justin now with the 2-3 zone for today's. And Alessandro was in there as well. Chris will have his home run hit list once we get the World Series back up there. You can see how we have our different playlists for NFL, college football, baseball, hockey, and more, and fights. Our full videos are up there for you as well to check out. Shorts up there. Our man looks like our man. He did it again. Our man Doubles coming back with another video. So Doubles ready to roll. Change his shirt this time. All right, so we got Judy up there with his videos up there. I'm just tempted to hit it. We just have fun when we see these guys. I didn't have the volume up. All right, Shooty, we got to get you. We got to see more of you and less of the ceiling there, my man. So there we go. But anyway, hey, listen, you guys want I'm not the critical guy when it comes to this stuff. The guys, people want the picks. Give them the picks. That's what they're giving. You're getting the picks. So check them out there on the Tony Picks YouTube channel. Lots of great content uploading now as we speak. I got my NBA haul going up right now. I had a lot of this is a busy part of the year, man. A lot of videos. I did 24 today. Oh my God, how did I get it all done? All right, there. So check it out over at Tony's Picks. Lots of great content, live shows as well. Let's don't forget the live shows. If you happen to miss any of our live shows, check them out here. We got the morning show, our morning show archive. The Prince of Darkness, Ramon, 2:30 a.m. Eastern time with the Night Move show. So check that out. A complete rundown. You guys on the East Coast, you got something in the morning to watch. Watch the replay of the Night Moves, full game breakdowns from Ramon and DeAndre Stevenson. Guys, you see on our leaderboards. Of course, a happy hour. Ron, and Brian are on there. You'll see some of our cappers also tune in there, chime in as well. So lots of great content over on our YouTube channel, guys. Check it out. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Of course, our shorts is popular now. We're starting to see Scott coming in here. Shooty, Doubles, see him on the leaderboards as well. So get on board there at Tony's Picks. A lot of great content from our crew there. Appreciate the contribution there from Shooty as well. Of course, Chris, have you here on the morning show. Of course, that home run hit list has been a very popular video all year.
Yeah, it's been popular. It'll be back for the World Series, definitely. I am working on another series as well. It's just going to be called the Hit List, and we're going to encompass touchdowns. We're trying to figure out which props are the most profitable in NBA. You got to get a little bit more data on that. And then I am trying these NHL goal scorers by the database that I have and the different things. I am learning a lot about different positions and things that matter and stuff. I've got some people teaching me that as far as these props go. So you'll be getting some goal scorers. You'll be getting some anytime touchdowns and then some NBA props all in the new series. It's going to be called the Hit List. And we're going to put that out because we're only going to have the World Series for so long. So anyway, appreciate everybody on the home run hit list this year so far. We're over 220 home runs cashed. So we're just going to keep going strong in the World Series. I think we got some good matchups here, especially game one with Blake Snell going. So anyway, we'll have that back out for you as soon as possible, and we'll just keep trying to put out the content.
Okay, good. Of course, so we got you here on the morning. We see you lurking in some of the other shows as well. And of course, we've seen a few times. You were the one that came up with the 2-3 zone.
Yeah, came over the 2-3 zone. I'm gonna tap in as the season go on. I need to really see. I see that they did the whole entire card. I'm curious what's gonna happen when college basketball starts. So I'm sure they're gonna have to chop that down a little bit. But I'm gonna tap in and see what's going on. I'm sharking in the water. But guys, don't parlay. Be safe. Let's make some money.
Absolutely, let's make some money indeed. That's the way to do it. Do it smart, and that's how you roll. All right, guys, check us out here on Tony's Morning Show every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. All right, any closing thoughts from any of you before we close it out?
Just make it a winning day and don't parlay.
That's right. Make it a winning day. Be smart, man. Keep it straight. And just spreads, totals, money lines. We're going to wake up. Bye, guys. Have a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony Six Morning Show.